you.
Oh, I like our colours, pink and
Are
green.
you? Oh, you're wearing my favorite color.
Aw. How are you?
I'm great. How are you keeping?
Did you have a good day?
Yeah, your hair is lovely.
Oh, it's getting long. Yeah, it's getting long.
Long, it's lovely.
Yeah. Are we live now? I presume we are.
We
It's
are live. We are live. But let's just pretend like we're just having a chat.
okay, cool.
Like I don't know how many people will join. Everyone's very welcome who is here, but it's mostly kind of then that it'd be uploaded and then people watch it afterwards. So it's really handy for people.
Yeah, cool. Okay, great. Happy days. I see
So
my joined, so we're all good.
um and we got off to a fine start. There was no trouble connecting anyway. So do you want to start by just telling us about your business first, Eva?
My name is Eva Blake. I call the business the Visible Business, as you can see. So I started out a long time ago studying marketing and business. I went to DCU and I had a very long corporate career after that, mostly in pharmaceuticals, funny enough. And I loved it, but after 15 years decided, like a lot of people, that I needed to change. I needed to pursue kind of a creative career for me, and just that flexibility and all that kind of thing to do with life and family. And I eventually bit the bullet and left corporate and started a photography business. Um, I started in all types of photography, but very quickly realized that I could combine my business and marketing work with my photography work, which was a total epiphany for me at the end of year one. So, especially working with women in business who were starting out just like me, we had so much in common. And obviously, people who didn't come from a marketing background, I could help a huge amount with their brand and their strategy and really understand what they wanted to do with their business before we ever took the camera out. So that
Yeah.
was really and that was nearly 7 years ago now. So I'm very much a brand photographer now, which is amazing to me because my whole identity was my corporate life. So yeah, now I have a studio. It's at my house in Kilmechanic in Wicklow. You've been here, you know what it's like.
Boy.
I'm here. And I work with men and women in business who mostly where they're the only person in the business. So I think personal branding is so, so important for people like us who are solo business owners, and we're working in very saturated markets. You know, it's
Definitely.
important for our face to be known, our personality to be known, what particular part of the business you want to be known for. So yeah, it's those type of people. It's very creative. I spend a lot of time in advance doing some planning and making sure that I understand your brand, the messages that you want to portray, what you want to be known for, what your business is all about, how you're positioning your brand in the market and what market you're in. So we have all those conversations, so I have a really good sense of who you are and what you're doing. And yeah, then we come to the studio and we spend about 3 or 4 hours together, create lots of lovely visual stories. You can bring lots of outfits, props, all the good stuff. I know interior designers tend to have a lot of juicy stuff in the back of the car. You
How
have
we roll.
that?
That's how we roll. Just with our car full of crap from our job.
Yeah, and it's brilliant because I think in your business especially, everybody does things in a slightly different way. They have slightly different style. So to get that across in your shoot and stand out for what you really like and what you really do, mostly with your clients. So yeah, we try and do as much of that as we possibly can.
So you kind of like, could you maybe, that's the difference of you, or just like kind of having a regular photo shoot to having a brand photo shoot. Why do you think the brand photo shoot is more important than just having some headshots done?
Yeah, I mean, a good headshot is very important because we all know if we don't like our photos, we won't put them out into the world. So I really make sure when I work with my clients that they feel confident on shoot day, that we've prepared them as much as possible. So we do create headshots. That is part of the whole brand story piece. And make sure that you love them and you feel like yourself in them. That's why we do hair and makeup at the studio if you want it before we have our shoot, which is really nice and handy. But then it's only one piece of the story, right? So if you these days everybody's consuming so much online. So social media, your website, your email marketing, if you don't have a consistent look and feel across all of those things that feels authentic and shows who you are and what you are uniquely all about, and behind the scenes, like we're human beings at the end of the day, we're really nosy. You know, get a sense of the person before we work with them. And there's so much that you can achieve through photography with that. People don't even realize how much they're absorbing when they're watching your photos and your content about whether they like you, whether they think you're professional, whether they like your style. You know, all of that stuff is working towards them making a decision about whether or not to engage with you.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you make it as authentic as possible, but also as professional as possible. I mean, all of us do really good work. I don't think that's the problem. Sometimes we get a bit despondent if the work's not coming in, but it's nothing to do with how good we are at our jobs. It's to do with how visible we are in our market. So just to stay focused on that and thinking about how can I use my various assets, whether it's video or photography, to truly communicate out into the world who you are and what you do.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like I know I went to you very early on in my journey, and I won it as a competition actually with lovely Jill, and I found it really important. I was so nervous that day going up to your studio, like, and I was really like had such imposter syndrome going, where are you going for a photo shoot? Like, you know, who do you think you are? And then like when I went in, lovely Gail was there to do the makeup, and you just made me feel so comfortable and so at ease. And I think it really came out then in all my pictures that I was like, I was really enjoying this. This was lovely. And this was something that was really important to me, because then if there was a thing that came up, like maybe, you know, like I was lucky enough to be featured in a newspaper shortly after that, and they were like, "Oh, can you send over some pictures?" And it was like, "Yes, I have a collection of pictures I can send you." Like, and like you say, I just felt really, really good in my pictures, so I was happy to share them. Like, whereas I know if I'd have got that call and I didn't have those pictures, I'd have felt like, "Oh God, now I'm going to have to take a picture of myself, and it's just going to be awful." But then I've sent people to you because I just think you really take care of people and you really make them feel safe. And I think that's the lovely thing about your studio. It's just people feel safe and they relax, and then that comes out in their lovely pictures. So I think you're brilliant at what you do.
The best thing I think is for business is to meet people in person, but we can't do that all the time. So to make your pictures look as much like you and what it's like to be with you in person is so important. So getting those natural shots where you're feeling good, you're comfortable, and like if you get the hair and makeup, it's a really fun morning. You know,
Yeah.
it's really crack and it's kind of like your wedding day, but you don't have to go get married after. And all the work before the shoot day, like we'll have the conversations about what it is we want to achieve from the photos and what we're going to create, so you can just really enjoy the shoot, because I'm fully briefed on what we're doing. Yeah, and then the prep is done, so you can come and have fun.
It's brilliant. And what do you feel is like the real value of, you know, like trying to get your brand, your showing your brand in your business, like
um,
for
yeah, well,
potential clients out there, I suppose.
yeah, I mean, I work with a lot of small businesses, right? So we wear a lot of hats, and anything we can do to make our lives easier, the better. And I think it's very hard to stay consistent in our visual communications, how we show up online. And, you know, we're jumping around from lots of different things. And I mean, when you're doing different things, showing different photos, not really bringing together your visual brand and your story as one consistent piece, you start to kind of erode trust. You probably know it yourself as a consumer when you're looking at brands and they're jumping around and everything is different from day to day. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of consistent thread through what they're communicating. But once you do the work, and if you don't treat your photography like a tick box exercise and actually treat it like a very strategic part of what you're doing to build your brand strategy, when you land on any website, the photos are the very first thing that make an impression. So they have to be as informative as they possibly can about who you are and why you are the person they should work with, right? So that's what we really focus on. Um, so being consistent is key, and having a bank of photographs that are all different, but they're all the same. So they're
Yeah.
different and they're telling different stories. They're bringing different elements of your personality and your brand and your offerings to life, but they all feel like your brand, right? So we know when we look at certain brands instantly, it's like, oh, I know that's one of hers, or I know that's a house that Emma would have done, or I know, and that's so, so important, because people are choosing you because they like that, your style or whatever it is. And when you're not consistent with it, it can be confusing for your audience.
Yes, definitely. When's the best time to do it?
Um, well, I mean, a lot of people,
Now. Book now.
uh, it probably all depends on your business. Like, obviously, when you're starting out, wait until you're clear on your brand strategy. Sometimes people do their photos, but the brand hasn't fully landed as what it is that you want to be and do and say. I know I started out in my first year photographing events and weddings and babies and everything. Very quickly realized I don't want to do this. I'm also not very good at it.
Mhm.
Um, and I chose my niche. And it was only then, nearly a year in, that I invested in what I wanted everything to look like and what I wanted to be known for. So definitely when you feel comfortable in your offering, that it's really clear, you know what you're doing, you know how you're positioning yourself in the market, why you're different to all the other people, why you should be chosen, who are the people that you want to work with. And then you start to create visuals that are going to, align with those people, appeal to those people. Um, yeah, and that really kind of just, it's like when you move into a house and they say don't decorate it for a little while,
Yeah.
in, and then decide what you need and what you're going to invest in. And then I have to say, I'm really lucky that maybe every kind of 2 years, clients come back to me for a refresh. Um, because you use them and use them and use them. And the more you use something, people just become a little bit immune to it. So it's really good to flash out something new and different every kind of year or 2 years. And I mean, there's loads of natural points as well where you might be launching something, you might be rebranding, you might have an event, all that kind of thing. So yeah, there's no exact right time, but just be clear on your brand strategy and your brand palette, all those things first. And if you're not clear on that, there's lots of people you can talk to, but you can come and have an initial conversation with me, and I can kind of steer you in a direction who you need to talk to, or sometimes you have an idea and you just need a little bit of support to bring it all together. So yeah, reach out
Brilliant.
anytime.
There's a friend of mine I know that was going to you, and she had like all her website pages, and
Yeah,
she was like, I want pictures for all these pages. So she planned that, and I thought that was brilliant. Like that was really forward thinking. So like,
yeah,
what is exactly that I'm trying to get across in these pictures? And she kind of built her website around the pictures more so than trying to find pictures that would slot into your website. And it's making me think that I really need to update my website.
we kind of break up a shoot into micro stories. So what exactly is it that you want to make sure people know when they land on your website? It might be some piece of your process. It might be that your product is handmade. Today I had a lovely brand in here, a family-run business who make uniforms for nurses in the beauty business. I put a reel up. But they have an embroidery service, and it's a big part of what they do. So we made sure that they brought some really nice props like spools and thread, and then some examples of embroidered uniforms, really nice work. And we took photographs. So when the person lands on the webpage, they can really show that offering and go to a lovely, bright, exciting page about what you can do. So just little micro stories like that. Like when I did my own shoot, I wanted to be really clear that when you come to the studio, like it feels more like a wellness space than a photography studio, I think. It's more that. It's not all tech and lighting. It's very comfortable, and it's very, yeah, it's just an easy place to be. And you can get your hair and makeup, you can change your clothes, all those kind of things. I just wanted all that to be brought to life so people get what it's like to work with me.
No, it's lovely. It's fabulous. The space itself is lovely because you've got fabulous views, and then your lovely dog keeps you entertained as well in between your pictures with his ball. Um, what what trends are you seeing at the moment with brand photography, or is there a thing that would be trending in it?
Um, I suppose people just are really getting to grips with how important their online presence is and how they're showing up. If you're going to invest in a website, it's just so important to prioritize your photography, or it just really falls flat. We're like competition in every industry is growing so much. Like we're not just competing with the guy down the road, we're competing with every country in the world. Like we have
Mm,
access to everything so quickly now and information that we have to stand out. We have to share human stories. We have to connect with our audience. Like the ladies that were here today with the uniform business, it's very easy to buy scrubs in China, you know, but I think Irish people and Irish customers, if they know there's an Irish family run business with these two really passionate, committed people behind it who are at the end of the phone, who have they took over the business from their mother, like, you're going to want to work with that person as
yeah,
opposed to some faceless organization. So, and obviously with AI, I'd love to get people's opinion on AI, and photography. I've seen some people dabbling with taking a selfie on their phone and then using AI to turn it into a professional brand portrait. Um, and I've played with it like everybody else probably has, but it just doesn't look like me. And I think if you use those kind of photos, you're breaking trust so quickly,
yeah,
you know, so inauthentic. And I'm not just saying that. I don't think they've nailed it yet in terms of, realistically making it look like you.
yeah.
Uh, so this is something that's literally hurtling down the tracks, and I think being human today is more important than anything else.
100%. And I think that's what's actually going to like there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's coming hurtling, as you say, towards us. There's nothing, and same like kind of in the interior design world. Like people say, well, do you use AI to do room designs? And it's like, no, of course I don't. Like, and people are doing it like, oh look, I mocked this up on AI, and it's like that's not what we do. Like that room looks great. That's perfect. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's like completely up to you what you want to do. But um, I think where the human side of it will shine out, like, because
Yeah.
we all crave that human interaction and we all crave that authenticity, like you say, and we want to deal with people. People buy from people and they deal with people that they like and they trust. And that comes across from like the first 10 seconds of seeing you. I think people either like you or they don't. And, you
And in
know,
your case specifically, it's so personal, a home, and you're going to be in that person's home. You're going to go on a journey with them, and they need to do that with a person. Like there's no kind of alternative to that. There's really nobody who's going to work with you in the way a human can. Like, um,
no,
so I
no, because like, you can do the design and like, oh, here's a shopping list of where you can buy it. But like, then when kind of if like it's mostly like problem solving really, it's on the spot problem solving and trying to like just keep calm, this is normal, it's okay, we'll get through it, like keep your eyes on the prize. It's a lot of kind of hand holding, I suppose, in this job, and that's probably really similar in your job. It's a lot of hand holding and kind of
industry, like everything that I deliver is in person, so it's really important that people kind of get a feel for me, and do I want to be in a space with her? Do I trust her? Can I have a relationship with her? All that kind of thing before they're going to engage with me.
yeah,
So yeah, it's funny. I use AI for loads of things and I love it.
yeah,
But when it comes to photography, yeah, it's scary. I mean, we can make a photograph move now. It's totally freaky. You can turn a photo into a video, and in theory, it sounds amazing, but and people are playing around with it, but it just feels a bit off, a bit wrong, and it's very
yeah.
much breaks, in my opinion, when people use it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit scared of kind of how fast it's happening, and that people are so quick to jump on the bandwagon with it, like because someone sent me a thing, and they were like, "Oh, about taking your picture and uploading it, and then these lovely caricature pictures that I've seen." But it's like now, they have your picture and they can manipulate it whatever way they want, like because you've given permission to use your picture. So if someone wants to use your picture and make a video out of it or put it onto something else, it's really easy to do now.
Yeah, and I just think from a marketing and branding point of view for a solo business owner, the relationship you have with people and the trust and the reputation that you've built up over all the years, you need to stay authentic and human and,
Yeah,
front and center in your business.
yeah,
And small, and in person is really where you meet people and ultimately it becomes business because that trust and relationship has begun. But there's very few people that will go on my website and book a full photo shoot in 2 minutes. They need to know so much more. Like you don't, like there's that famous kind of thing in marketing where you don't ask someone to marry you on the first date.
yeah,
And that's what personal branding is. It's slowly introducing who you are and what you're doing and what you're known for, what your kind of niche area is. And in something, I know Design Source has lots of different people within the community, but if you're a designer of any sort, it's a really good opportunity to talk about your unique art. It's like
yeah.
every is different, and somebody who likes your work doesn't like somebody else's work, and you owe it to those people who would love your work to be visible and to be findable. If you make it impossible for them to find you, they'll never realize that you're out there creating in exactly the way that you love.
Yeah, that's it exactly. You're right. Clients are out there for you, and kind of because I kind of think that with social media as well. That like to I do Instagram for kind of more so showing my personality now than my work really. And I show like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But I remember I had a phone call once from someone and they were like, "Oh, I heard you're an interior designer and you might help me with my house." And I was like, "All right, do you follow me on Instagram?" And I said, "No, no, no, I don't want to." And I was like, "But do me a favor." I said, "I'm not for everyone." I said, "Follow me on Instagram for a week and see like if you get on with my personality, and if you call back, great, we can work together. And if not, like that's great as well. That's fine." So he never called.
Hey, right? There's
But
there
that's
shouldn't say
fine.
yeah.
Because you don't want to be working with people that like, yeah, but that's what I think social media is great for like showing your personality and showing where you're a bit different from other people. And like, I like to do it this way, exactly what you're saying. And to pull it back to like the branding photography is exactly what you're saying, that like it's another element of getting your authentic self out there and showing how you're different and getting your story out there so the right people come to you.
And you do a good job in real life, so you need to make sure that syncs with your online life. So if somebody looks you up, that professionalism, that work that you do, those happy clients, they're all there online because that's where we check. We check everything. We can go
Yeah,
online and okay, I met her and she seems great, but I need to have a good rummage now on the internet and see what I find. And it'll make or break, their decision to actually buy, and spend money
yeah,
and to make sure that all that proof is there that you are who you say you are, the work that you do is a certain style or whatever. Um, so yeah, we consider all of that before we create your collection of photos. And also you just want your online presence to be interesting and
yeah,
to grab attention and have something slightly different each day to go up with your content and just kind of sparkle a little bit, whether it's in your email or on your website or your social, whatever it is. Um, yeah, so
Can I ask you, so you can explain to people, what are the different offerings you do, the different packages? So if someone wanted to book with you, what are the different things that you can do?
so this year I've actually brought it right back down to one offering.
Oh, very good. Okay.
7 years in the making, and I think I've really created an offering now that works for the majority of people. And that's called the Brand Story Shoot. It's 3 to 4 hours in my studio with a really good planning call in advance and some other information to help you prepare. And then you come and we have a few hours in the studio and we we kind of storyboard the shoot and what we want to achieve in each part of the shoot, for the different elements of your brand story. And some people will opt then to also add on a location. So I'm in Kilmechanic, so I'm really close to mountains, the sea, the beach, some lovely kind of colourful, interesting towns, some nice hotels. So we can leave the studio and spend an hour at another location. So a lot of and people that I work with might like to, do some yoga on the beach, or, a consultant or coach of some sort might want to be in the lobby of a five-star hotel interview or working with a client because, they're trying to tell that story that they sell a really high ticket kind of offering. And so the whole feel has to be very luxury and high end. So just to make sure that we bring that into the collection of photos and it's really clear. I mean, the studio is really versatile. It's nighttime now, but it's a really bright white, and we can turn it into lots of things. So it's been an acupuncture clinic, it's been a dentist, it's been an artist studio, and so we can really have fun. When interior designers come, it's brilliant because they actually turn it into a room.
Start designing, bringing out curtain material and everything.
Like that. So yeah, it can be really fun to bring your own spin to your shoot. I do recommend doing a bit of a location after because it really adds depth to your collection.
Yeah.
It just really mixes things up. I do have a nice garden outside, so we can do a little bit outdoor work, but I mean, the Sugarloaf is 2 minutes away from here, and even Brittas Bay is my favorite beach to shoot on. So sometimes we'll start at sunrise in Brittas Bay and then we'll come back to the studio and do a studio piece. So, I mean, you can pretty much, design your shoot how you need it to be and we'll make it happen.
That's amazing. So like what people need to do really is kind of sit and think about their own websites and their own branding photographs that they have at the moment and see where they can improve it, and then build, I suppose, speak to you and build their shoot around what best shows their business, I suppose.
Framework I can go really quickly just to help you structure your shoot. And it's based on the principle of storytelling, but it's translated to brand storytelling. Anybody can get the book. It's called Story Brand by Donald Miller, and it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
really good way for a small business owner to think about their marketing. And the 7-step framework is the same as every story that's ever told in a film or in a play or in a book. It starts with a character. So who is your ideal client? Because often we will put the ideal client in the photo. So if somebody lands on your website, they see themselves working with you. And so if you work with, 75-year-old men who are losing their hair, that's the person that they're going to see on the website, and they'll feel, oh yeah, this is for me. So that's one element. Then obviously we think about what's the problem you're solving. So we try and bring to life why you do what you do, like how does your thing make life better? And there's lots of different ways to do that, and every business is different. But I mean, for interior designer, we might put you in a before house, or with a client sitting in a room that you're going to transform, and something like that. And then really the rest of it is how to work with you. So how does somebody work with you? What's the process? What do I do? So you might have really got their interest on the website, but you have to make it really simple for them to make the next step. So there has to be a plan. So, maybe you have an initial consultation. What does that look like? I remember working with a furniture company, and they do these amazing consultations with people on the shop floor, and they have like iPads that they upload a photo of the room and instantly put all the couches into the room. And it was just brilliant visuals, so somebody can look at the website and go, I want to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I want to do that.
Yeah, they're so yeah, you'll find them. They're in Waterford. I'm sure a lot of your guys will know them. So yeah, so really bring your process to life, because often your process could be your unique selling point.
Exactly.
Often the what you do, but it's how you do it. Um, and then the big one is, what does success look like for your client? Whenever we go to buy something on a website, we want to see the necklace on the model, or we want to see the final kitchen that was designed. Every brand promises a better transformation, you're going to take somebody from A to B. So your photographs need to show the A and the B, because you want people to get excited about working with you. So what's the vision of success for your client? And let's bring that to life.
I think it's fantastic that you've used like all the experience that you've built up in your previous job, and probably not even just that job, probably every job you've had, like that you've built up to now, that you're like dealing with people, you're taking care of people, but you're also then all the brand work and the storytelling. It's fantastic that you've pulled everything together in something really creative that you can do that's right beside your family home, and you can do both. Like, brilliant.
My son was off sick today, so he was in the house and I was in the studio. But that's why we leave corporate to have that flexibility, right?
Exactly, exactly. I have mine mourned, like, because my husband's not home yet, and I'm like, if you come near that door, if you come near the door, I'm not doing anything at the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, it's the balance, it's the balance. So Eva, to just wrap it up, how can people get in contact with you?
Okay, so my website is thevisiblebusiness.ie, and you can book in a call. So even if you're not at that stage where you definitely want to do photography, book in a call for 30 minutes. It's a no commitment chat. So we can chat about your business and what you're doing or what direction you're going. If you want to book a shoot, my next availability is April. So you can book and leave a deposit through the website straight away to secure the dates. I only work with about 4 businesses a month, because each business all in, it's about a week's work. So with our planning and our whatever. So yeah, April, May, June, I'll be doing shoots, and then I don't work in the school holidays. So yeah, it's really good to follow me on Instagram, because most days I'll share client work, I'll share behind the scenes. Um, yeah, so just give you an insight into what my clients are doing and what we're creating. So that's at visible_business on
Brilliant.
Instagram. Yeah.
Cool. And you're connected in on here, so it's really easy to follow Eva from this as well. And then are you coming to see us in Design Source?
Pardon? Yes, I hopefully will get in. Yeah. Thankfully, it's really busy at the minute, but I'm hoping to get in. I loved it last year. It was really,
Oh,
really
it's
good.
brilliant. It's brilliant. It's just such a good atmosphere, and it's just, I just find it really interesting. The people that you meet at is just fantastic, and the connections that you can make with people.
Real hope now in Ireland, isn't it? It's really taken over that space. It's brilliant for people to go and connect, and it's thriving kind of community. So yeah, it's cool.
100%. Yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for being on the live today, Eva. It was lovely chatting to you.
Too. Hopefully, I'll see you back again.
You will, you will. I'll be back to you next year, I'm sure, with another one.
Photos.
Thanks so much, Eva.
Take care. Bye
Take
bye.
care. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye bye.